Hi, in this guide, we're going to explore how to assess antibody sequence liabilities with Platforma. So here I already have a preset project for our antibody discovery campaign where we have a couple of samples coming from 3 rounds of selection with phage displays. We did the clonotyping analysis. We already clustered our clonotypes and built the list of enriched leads. So now from this point, let's add the block, which is called antibody sequence liabilities. So I add in this block and here selecting the data set that we're going to analyze, the data set for which we are going to predict the liabilities. And here we have a very simple setting with just a list of liabilities that will be assessed for every of the antibody candidates for clonotypes that we have in our data set. So you can check and uncheck each of those liabilities to include them into the risk assessment. So let's run this block and see the results. Easy peasy for each of the clonotypes that we have, for each of the antibody clonotypes or CFE clonotype, depending on the type of the data that we have. We now have a full summary of the sequence liabilities in a simple tabular form. So for each of our candidates, we can show we can see the liability, the overall liability risk and the liability risks at different frameworks and CDRs of our antibody. So how to use this information? Let's start with a simple set. So let's use our clonotype space to, for example, filter onto those or highlight onto those antibodies on the space that do not have any of the liabilities. And voila, we have it here. Let's also bring our enrichment score as a color on the plot to see whether we have a good enriched label-free candidates in our data. And yes, that's the case. We have some. We have some good enriched non-liable candidates right in our data set. The liability risk assessment will be used also in the downstream analysis in the antibody picking and selection, but that's for another guide. That's all for today. That's a super simple and straightforward guide how to do antibody sequence liability analysis with Platforma. Thank you and stay tuned for the next guides.